All right, everyone, call up Richard Garfield. Call up Mix-a-Lot, because we've got a new Magic World Champion, and that is Yuta Takahashi. Actually, the Fairies Master, the person who is still willing to play with Spellstutter Sprite deep into the late 2018s, 2019s. This is the modern master right here. But the format wasn't modern. It was standard, and he wins the entire World Championship. For anyone who can read Roman numerals, that's the World Championship he won. What is this, 27? 27? Am I on that right? Am I on that wrong? 27 World Championships? Yeah, that seems about right. I don't know how many World Championships that have happened, but that sounds like a good number. Yuta Takahashi became the new Magic the Gathering World Champion after he defeated Jean-Emmanuel Depras in the finals of Magic World Championship 27. I think that's what you gotta help me here. I was never paying attention to any of the broadcasters telling us which Magic World Championship this is. The victory earned Takahashi $70,000, the World Championship, and his likeness on a future Magic card. Depras came in second, taking home $40,000. Not bad. Not bad for a day's work. These prizes are on top of the $50,000 appearance fee each player earned by playing in the World Championship. Now that's the real prize. Look at that. Just showing up makes more money than going second place. Effectively. The tournament didn't start out too well for the champion. He opened the competition with 0-3, back against the wall. His back was against the wall. I mean, who wants... This is the quintessential story of never giving up. Takahashi was 0-3 to start the tournament. You would think he's out. It's over. One more loss, you are done for. But he rallied back. Once standard began, however, Takahashi became unbeatable. From round 4 to the finals, Takahashi won 10 straight matches on his way to become the world champion. It's never over until it is over. In the upper bracket, Takahashi defeated Depras 2-0 in the first round. He went on to defeat Jan Merkel in a 2-1 series. Then both matches showcased the speed and resilience of Takahashi's Is It Dragon's build. Yeah, Goldspan Dragon. Big deal in standard. What is the price of Goldspan Dragon? We got to go to mtgstocks.com. Most unreliable place for MTG prices. Or MTG graphs, I should say. Goldspan Dragon. I heard the stock of Goldspan Dragons going up. Even though, no one can play in paper. Whoa! Okay, forget it. It's probably going up because of Commander. But I think everyone... Maybe people saw it coming. That thing was going to be a good card. Look at the value of this thing. That's what we call a standard staple right there. The Disruption Suite of Burning Hands, Dragon's Fire, and Divide by Zero helped Takahashi prevent Depras from developing an overwhelming board state. In the waning moments of the final match, Takahashi was playing around any potential out. Once the victory was secured, Takahashi took a brief moment for the gravity of the moment to truly set in. He was an incredibly emotional champion. Very emotional. Here, let's take a look. I think this is the clip.
0-3 to 10-0, Yuta Takahashi is your world champion.
Oh my god.
He can't believe it. He's staring at his screen because he can't believe it. He won. He's the world champion. Yuta Takahashi from Japan. Incredible.
Living the dream.
Oh, there's an even more emotional one than this. Where's the other one? Where he actually breaks down crying. Or maybe it was when he made the top 8. Whatever. Very emotional moment for Takahashi. But he did great. The Depras journey, blah 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 blah. I think that we got the gist of it. Coming into the World Championship, many top players were down on Goldspan Dragon as a primary main deck threat. This led to much of the field not running effective answers to the 5-mana Hasty Dragon. Wow, you can't underestimate a card that's $45, people. What are you doing? It's $45 for a reason. I used to know somebody who like bought cards based on the price. Like the price was really high, that card must have been really good. Which some cards are like really weird enablers that just end up being really expensive, but like on its own it's crap. But this person would own those cards. What is going on here? Historic picks, mature. Moving on here. The finals came down to 2 decks. Okay, I've seen enough. Some weird ads are coming up. But anyway, yes, Yuta Takahashi is our new Magic World Champion. The world's got to know. Call up Richard Garfield, Mix-a-Lot, every local game store, because the world's got to know. Anyway, welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. And also, we do Decklist review, so if you got a 75, hey, submit it to us, and both myself and the coffee crew would love to give you that feedback. So brew up your coffees, coffee crew, and let's brew up some magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for October 11th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. And by the way, this is actually Canadian Thanksgiving Day. I know the Americans, America, you guys have Thanksgiving somewhere deep in November. No, we have it like early, somewhere mid-October-ish. So today is Thanksgiving. Thank you for everyone for being a part of this adventure with me on YouTube and also being here for Coffee and MTG. Thank you very much. Takahashi took play tier out serious. Oh, absolutely. The worst way to lose is losing to some sort of 1%er or even a 5%er that you're like, maybe it won't happen. Wait, 5% is still 5%. If the opponent hasn't resigned, the game goes on. So you have to take everything very seriously. Yeah, good for Takahashi. We have confirmation that it is 27. 27 is good. Excellent. So before we get into our morning show, we got to talk about our sponsors. And one of the first one is FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week. This is your last day, people. Save 15% off Urza, Saga, Legacy, and Destiny singles. So, you know, all those expensive reserve list cards, or even those niche cards that are just very, very old, hard to get. You want to get a good deal on it. Now you can get 15% off the deal of the week at FusionGamingOnline.com. And also, don't forget, you can stack the deals with this coupon code to get 5% off any purchase you want using coupon code Nikachu at checkout. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And hey, maybe you don't care about Standard very much, but you know what? You're inspired by Yuta Takahashi's Goldspan Dragon deck. You want to try that thing out, but you don't want to own those cards, right? Because Standard cards, they rotate, they become worthless. Well, you don't have to own the cards anymore to play the decks. You can rent them with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. Alrighty, people. You know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question. Helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on my YouTube channel. Or you can cheat the system with super chats on YouTube. Donate with a super chat and your question gets pushed to the top of my feed. Can we send links? Unfortunately, you can't. Unless maybe you publish something in my Discord if you're available there. The deal is I can. It's, you know how your everyone's questions get popped up? I'm not allowed to click any links in there. Like, if you post a link, other people are able to watch it, but I can't access it with this client. As weird as that sounds. Good morning, Mareep. Good morning, Azzy. David. Good morning, Sir Butterballs. Trevor. Good morning, Frederick. El Taco, Kaya, Noxter, Bearer, Keith, Matt, Wazix, Gold Medals, Cody, MTG Ectoplasm, Freestyle, Sir Butterballs, Costa. Good morning, Etor. Good morning, Seth. Good morning, Gem Mint MTG. I like that. But is 9.5 still considered Gem Mint? Sounds mint. Sounds very minty. Sounds near mint. But it sounds like 10. I don't know what the bar is, but you know what? You are Gem Mint MTG, so you would know at what point something is Gem Mint. I guess there's a little bit of leeway between 9.5 and 10. 9.7 is also Gem Mint. I always consider Gem Mint to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good morning, Mermaid Pimp. Good morning, Jason. All right, Simon Raymond asked Nikachu, can you help me with my university work? It's a comp application course. I'm sure a computer application course. I would help you if I could. I don't know anything about computers, so I can't help you there. It sounds complicated. Naxter, what happened to cause G-Tron to be unplayable in Modern? It's not. It's like, it's totally there. It's less popular than it used to be, but, I mean, it's still around. It's still kicking. How far? It's not even that far. Look. Just even by MTG Goldfish's cooked data, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see Tron all the time. Tron running strong. Many variations with Karn Liberated. I'm sorry, Karn the Great Creator. Not Karn the Great Creator. This one is not playing with Karn the Great Creator. But, yeah, did recently... How recent was this Modern Challenge finish? September? Oh, that was a long time ago. Okay. Maybe there is some truth to what you talk about. That was a whole month ago. How long ago? Modern Preliminary, just a few days ago. Here you go. Here's a fresh deck list from Azix. Azix might be your guy to listen to. Azix is playing with Karn the Great Creator. There you go. Still good. Didn't go away. It's right there, right where we last left it. If you ever wonder where your Tron went, it's left right where you last left it. It's always in the last place you look. Oh my god! Yuta Takahashi wins a card. Could he bring fairies back with his own card? Good god. Over under, his card 100% is going to be a fairy. This is like my dream of winning the world champ. Do I have to win the world championship in order to get ourselves a one-drop merfolk? Is that what has to happen right now? Is that what has to happen? Make the fairy, that's right. He's gonna make the fairy. We probably will do that. Seth said, friends and I said G-Tron was dead and I took mine apart and then we proceeded to get our butts handed to us, even being prepared for it several weeks in a row. Never underestimate Tron. Tron is always there. Tron is like the most stable of all the modern archetypes in history. I don't know an archetype that is so similar to its original build. Okay, well, Burn is also Burn has changed quite a bit. Burn and Tron. These are like two anime villains that have been just stuck around for like 20 seasons in a row now. And everything else has changed. Look, we got Mill up here. Imagine 7 years ago telling someone, I'm from the future. And in the future, equipment that pumps up creatures by +10/+10. And also Mill is in the top of the decks in Modern. They're top tier decks. I could also tell them that, like, there's a control deck with one creature in it. They would also believe that, too. Well, they would believe the control deck thing, but they wouldn't believe anything else. and everything is banned. There's no birth. I don't say that things are banned. I say, and in this world, there's no Splinter Twin, there's no birthing pod, there's no affinity, there's nothing. They're all gone. I don't explain why, though. Oh, I saw some little bit of discussion about 10 is pristine. My channel is about graded MTG cards. That's interesting. In that case, let's go check you out. Get a little bit of free promotion here. That's how you do it. You just go onto the bigger channels, start talking, and you never know what's gonna happen. Especially when you have such good branding like this. I like the logo. So we got 26 subscribers right now. Great. We got graded MTG cards. What I'm buying. Graded MTG. Graded card case review. You can get graded. Such thing exists.
If you wear glasses or contacts, you must.
Such thing exists? Holy moly! Your intro is better than mine. So we've got... I want to see this thing open. How does this work? The Case Club. Oh my god! There's like... This is such a niche product. I mean, truth be told, what is it? It's just a plastic case with, you know, foam inside. So what does the graded stuff look like? Oh my god! This is how you put it in the vault. This is how you do it, people. This is insane. Okay, well, let's hear you for a second. What do you have to say about this?
Or PSA's over here, your Beckett's over here.
Yeah, you could organize your stuff with this.
At your cards. It kind of gives you.
If you have any, I have no graded cards. I have nothing. I should send a signed Alpha Merfolk of the Pearl Trident to get graded.
And being able to see the card, you know, I'm looking down at this now. I can see the card.
You can still read the card
grade.
label.
I don't have to rifle through my cards. Everything's nice and separated. I don't have to worry about the.
Who makes this stuff? I mean, like, and how many people own so many graded cards that they need to buy this? Hey, look, I show up. I like that. When you watch this video, I show up on how to shuffle your cards. This is insane. So on, this is an actual review of the Case Club graded card case. This is just going so deep. This hobby, it just goes to levels I don't expect them to go whatsoever. All right. David Miller asked, do we think Yuta winning increases or decreases the chances of an Epiphany ban in Standard? I have no idea, actually. I heard a lot of people are like, you gotta go super aggro or you play Epiphany. What is Epiphany? I don't even know what this card is. I mean, I can hear the chatter on the internets. Epiphany. Alrun's Epiphany? I think this is the only legal one. Sorcery, create 2 1/1 blue bird creature tokens with flying. Oh, the extra turn thing. Wow, are we in a world where playing extra turns are too dangerous? Is Time Warp, like, just busted now? Time Warp saw no play for forever, basically, and now all of a sudden, it's broken. What happened? I guess the thing is, like, Time Warp, which was 5 mana. It's a different time now. Back then, even in Standard, there were, like, combo decks that would kill you on turn 3. Card shops will want these for sure, especially once Fest and Con start making a comeback. How much is this Epiphany? Or All-Round's Epiphany? It can go higher. It can go higher. Time Warp was always busted? Well, yeah, but Historic is very recent history. I mean, Time Warp is an old card. It goes back since Tempest. I don't remember. There is no deck I can remember ever using Time Warp back then. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a historian will show me Time Warp was actually playable. But back then, like, there were bigger. You had much larger concerns than someone taking an extra turn. You were concerned about being alive by turn 3. And there was, of course, there was also tons of counter magic back then. I think even back then in Standard, I think there was like Force of Will. I think Alliance is as close to Tempest. I could be wrong. Well, threats are much better today, but also the game is somewhat slowed, in some ways slowed down. It's very powerful, but no one's getting blown out of the water very quickly. So that's what I would say. People really hate playing against extra turns. Well, it's so rude. It's worse than it's extra mana. It's extra land drops. You hate when your opponent has extra mana. Well, you get double the mana, double the land drops, double the card draw, double the attack step, double the upkeep. If you have upkeep triggers. I mean, it's really, really, taking extra turn is pretty strong. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's go back to the beginning. Trevor, how about 8 of the 16 decks basically being the same? Welcome to Standard! That has been the same as the dawn of time! I mean, that's basically what Standard is. It's very rarely... Standard comes in waves where sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and that's it. And you just can't do anything about it. That's why Modern is what it is. That's why Modern is considered... Like, you expect Standard to look like this? F no! It is not happening. Standard is usually like, you know, there's like 3 decks available and you pick one. So it's not unusual for Standard to look warped, because it almost always is. And it's not unusual for there to be one good deck and then everyone else is playing garbage. Yeah, go Yuta. So we're gonna have to see what he has to make, and I'm sure he's got to keep his lips closed tight about it until it gets released. Maybe he can hint that, hey, the fairies are coming. The fairies are coming. Matthew says, also very cool moment yesterday where Andre played for 1 out of 60 out and drew his Spike Field Hazard. Hey, that's why you play to your outs. It's never over till it's over. You don't give up. Unless you're playing a league and you're looking... If you're playing a league and you're waiting for this 1 out of 60 thing, and you got like 4 matches to go, maybe it's time to... Or you're already like not doing well in the league, maybe just move on. But when it matters, you play to your outs. You play to the outs. What's the Canadian Thanksgiving meal? Poutine? I imagine it's just some festive food, but I always get this question, like, what is a Canadian meal? And I don't know, what's an American meal? Burgers or something? Well, the deal is there's so many ethnicities in Canada. It's like whatever background you come from, that's what you're probably going to eat on Thanksgiving. Frederick says, let's go Shaper's Sanctuary or Leyline of Vitality for Elves sideboard in this meta. Is Leyline still worth it as a 3 of? Why do you want Leyline of Vitality? Oh, creatures just get a little bit bigger whenever a creature enters the battlefield. You may gain 1 life. I don't know. I don't know if this does enough for your elf deck. Your lord still died a lightning bolt. I don't mind Shaper's Sanctuary though. I think it's a lot better. If there was some way to prevent them from even or taxing the mana, I think that would be better. Seth Dubois says, happy for the guy, and that's why it's never over until you know you got the final loss that makes it not possible. That's right. Until that river card has been shown, anything can happen. But when it was a done deal, it was over. He did it. Seth also says, I play Goldspan in Commander, and I can attest to the table telling me that card is BS. No one likes extra... Is it really that bad? Okay, you get, like, extra mana. Big deal. Was Goldspan Dragon again? Is there an extra ability on it? Flying Haste. That's not unusual. When it attacks or becomes the target of a spell or ability, create a treasure token. Treasure tokens, you have tap, sacrifice this artifact. Yeah, whatever. I don't think it's crazy. I find it... I mean, the fact that its best ability is that it has haste. Really. And flying. Evasive haste creature. Does a deck need 4x Karn to run a Karn board? I would say yes. Because why are you spending... It depends how much of a Karn board you have. I'll tell you what. If you have 3 cards you want to go get from your sideboard, play less than 4. But if you have like 8, 9, 10 cards in your sideboard, play the full 4. Like, why commit so many cards in your sideboard when you can't even get them very often? When you can't go grab them with Karn very often. Kaya, the past couple of Merfolk 5-0s has been from a guy who's been running Fading Hope mainboard. What do you think about it? Seems okay, not amazing. That's exactly what it is. Seems okay, but not amazing. It's Vapor Snag. With Scry. Correct? I mean, I would probably pick up this card as a toolbox card. I'm not in love with it, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it is better than it is strictly better unsummon. Strictly better unsummon. Look at the power creep, people. Look at this. What have they done to this game? I think this is from beta, isn't it? Yeah, this is from beta. Return creature to owner's hand. Enchantments on creature are carded? What? Unsummon cannot be played during the damage dealing phase of an attack. What the hell? Oh, it's misprinted. This one is a misprint. Okay, can we see a real one? This is also misprinted. Return creature to owner's hand. Enchantments on creature are discarded. Unsummon cannot be played during the damage dealing phase of an attack. That's actually wrong. You can't do it at the beginning of the damage step, but you can do it at the end of the damage step. Jeez. Back then, templating people. But yeah, we went from unsummon to this new strictly better unsummon. JD Cassie, for Mono Blue Merfolk, what suggestions do you have? If you don't own Brazen Borrower, I have most of the bounce spells. Closest creature I own is Vendilion Click, or just run more fish. Honestly, so you could run more things like Harbinger of the Tides, which can bounce creatures, if that's what Brazen Borrower was partially for. Now, if I was playing Brazen Borrower strictly to bounce Ensnaring Bridge, I'd be looking at cards like Cryptic Command, Venser, Shaper, Savant. So we can look at some of them. You can get Venser. So like if one of the reasons I love Brazen Borrower is it's a way of dealing with Ensnaring Bridge, but I don't like Echoing Truth at all. I prefer stuff. And you know what? Maybe I could like Echoing Truth a little bit right now because of the Crashing Footfall deck, I have to admit. So we got Venser, Shaper, Savant. When it enters the battlefield, return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So you get like, and this is could be good versus like Supreme Verdict, for example. So they play Supreme Verdict, you play your Venser. But I think it's a very versatile creature. I like it a lot. 4 mana though, 4 mana. Don't mind Cryptic Command. These are all relatively expensive spells. Cryptic Command is playable in Merfolk. It's playable. I played this a few times as a sideboard card. I ended up liking this more than Venser. In some builds. Venser you can play with Ether Vial, so. But anyway, these are some suggestions. Outside of that, like, play with, like, Harbinger of the Tides as a creature that can bounce other creatures. Even though it's, like, a little bit more clunky and awkward. Jim and MTG with the super chat. Thank you so much, Nikachu. My channel is about showing that anyone with any budget can get into graded MTG. It's not high-end Power 9 cards. I love collecting MTG. Thanks again. Love your show. Thank you very much, Jim and MTG. That's interesting. So maybe... So should I, like, send off my foil Japanese Thieving Magpie to get it appraised? Even though it might come back like a 6.0, whatever. It's graded! I got it graded. It's official. It's got the barcode on it. Is that how this works? It's given a serial number and then you can look it up? You know what? You really inspired me just now. Maybe I'm going to send some cards to get graded, even though they're worthless. I just want them... I want it in the damn case. We'll hang them up everywhere. Hang it around this place. Where's my music? Oh, the music's running. I just can't hear it. What else do we got here? Stephen Carr, what made Amulet Titan stop seeing play? That is a good question. Now, one answer is that one of the best decks in the format, or was one of the best decks in the format, is a Tempo with Murktide Regent. They were a good Blood Moon deck. You better believe that they had the interaction to screw over Titan decks. It might be a partial amount of the speed. Like, and I could tell maybe they don't have probably the best elemental matchup because they play a Primeval Titan that just gets solituded away. But I don't have good answer for that. Like, Tron is a good matchup for them. I can't believe that Crashing Footfalls would be a bad matchup. They destroy Burn. They destroy Jund. Hammer Time might be close. Blood Control might be poor, because they now have access to Solitude for the Primeval Titan. Because all you really have to do is deal with the Primeval Titan. So if the more Solitudes around, the better chance, or the harder it's going to be for the Amulet player. Also, Prismatic Ending was a big deal. I don't know if it should be that big of a deal, but if you go in the dark, turn 1 Amulet, into prismatic ending, that is a real beating. Because usually the removal spells didn't have any targets against the Amulet deck, but now they do. They can use prismatic ending to wipe away the Amulet of Vigor. So, I don't have a good answer. I'm assuming, honestly, I think it's still playable. It's just not popular amongst the Amulet community. It's just like any other deck. Like, why isn't it seeing play? Well, it's still playable. They just don't want to play it. They were playing it because it was like the best of the best deck at the time. And now it's like a good deck. Suck it, Amulet Titan. Adrian says, did you see Andre Strasky went 10-0? Yes, he had a great start. Played amazing and in the top 4, lost 2 games in a row and went out. Such a shame, but goes to show that your record means nothing in the last finals. Well, I mean, it means something because it gets you into the finals, you know? It gets you into the finals. But there's just no difference between going 10-0 and 7-3 in this case. But well, I would say 7-3, Yuta Takahashi's 7-3. Did he get in by tie breaks? Or was a 7-3 a clean win? But sometimes it's not clean. So winning earlier, getting your wins in earlier matters later on when trying to squeeze into top 8s. I guess it didn't matter. His tie breaks would be the worst because he started off with 0-3. Video thought, do one on spicy sideboard tech. I don't like making the sideboard videos too much, to be honest, because the spicy sideboard tech videos could be dead in like a week. That's the only problem with those videos. Merfolk Master World Champion sounds great. It would be great if only I could make that happen. But the problem is I don't like playing Limited, and I most certainly do not like playing Standard. Can I still be part of the coffee crew if I find coffee aberrant? Absolutely. Be part of the... Well, what do you drink? Budweiser? Do you drink energy drinks? Are you there with the tea? I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. Burn being better than Tron? Yes. Burn... It's not a slam dunk win. Because, you know, Tron can ramp out Wormcoil Engine on turn 3 and then, you know, make a mess of Burn. But it is a good matchup for Burn. People from the future talking about Stoneforge Mystic unbanned is enough to make people shit their pants. And Jace the Mind Sculptor. I should make a skit about this. Like the modern player from the future goes back in time. In the future, you play Stoneforge Mystic, go get your Batterskull and follow it up with turn 4 Jace the Mind Sculptor. And in this meta, there's no Splinter Twin, there's no Birthing Pod, there's no Affinity. And there's nothing. And then the person would assume that it's Stoneforge Mystic and Jace's fault. Not knowing that they got banned. Oh, your OLED Switch arrived? Oh yes, actually, and when I was shopping for it, so let me show off my Switch. I have a Switch! I got a Switch now. I'm part of the, it's been a while since I own a console. I find the controls are actually pretty crappy, so I also got the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which I find is actually quite good. And I think I'm going to be using this even for when playing computer games. The Bluetooth actually is quite reactive. I didn't find that there's any meaningful lag, so I like it. And I've immediately started playing Mario Maker on this thing. Playing Mario Maker, playing the 0.0001% levels. And I think I got the last blue and red one in my city. I bought it on the 2nd day. I didn't buy it on the 8th. I bought it on the 9th. And I go to my Best Buy, and the Best Buy says we're sold out, man. And I'm like, well, okay, and he says, well, we probably have to order one for you. And he goes, oh, but there's one on the other side of the city. We can hold it for you. Yes. Hold the Switch for me. So I went on to the other side of the city and got my Switch. Huge fans of Zelda out there? I mean, I don't mind the Zelda games, but I'm not one of those like I gotta play every Zelda game that exists. Need some Mario Golf? Hey, I am a connoisseur of Mario Golf. I remember back in the Nintendo 64 days playing Mario Golf. It was fantastic. The worst is the extra time they get, especially in Commander. Ah, yes, when talking about like extra turns. Extra turns in Commander, super cringe. Should be banned, really. Naxter, what would be a good upgrade for Boros Burn since most archetypes got something like Modern Horizons 1, 2. Burn just got lands? Is that all Burn got? I mean, that might be true. Burn got a card, but it's somewhat unplayable. Burn has slowly been getting upgrades for some time now, right? They got Skewer the Critics. Like, this is not a new card. Like, this isn't a super old card. But I can't say that they got anything super ridiculously new. They got Horizon lands, and let me tell you something about the Horizon lands. These cards actually suck in most decks. Not everyone can play Horizon lands. This, I mean, it's a modern staple, but Burn does it better than any other deck. What else did they get? They have the option to play Sanctifier on Vec. The only thing I could think of that they won is more ways of beating a Chalice. Like, that was what made Skewer the Critics really good. It could be played for one, but it could play around a Chalice on one. I guess the other things that they could do is upgrade their creature. Goblin Guide is not that good. If they could get another Swift Spear equivalent, like, I don't know how you upgrade this, how you get something similar to this, but upgrade it. But that would be it. You could upgrade Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide is not a very good card. It just is good enough in Burn that they don't get crushed. Yeah, people absolutely hate playing against extra turns these days. What's funny is the extra turn wasn't the problem, but the multiple flyers combined with a galvanic iteration can deal exactly 20 damage. Nice. Just nice. Yeah, who doesn't like free tokens? How would you suggest a casual player get ready for Channel Fireball in Las Vegas? You mean for Modern? If you can borrow a tier 1 deck, do it. That's probably your best bet. Just borrow any of these. I would say borrow Hammer Time, borrow Burn, borrow Jund, borrow Is It Tempo, borrow Tron. Crashing Footfalls might be one of the better ones you can get. It's very powerful and it still feels very interactive. And I think the game almost plays itself. Like on the early turns, you want to play Fire and Ice or Dead and Gone. Later, and you play Force and Negation when you need to play Force and Negation. I think this is this is a really good deck. I mean, you can rent the deck if you can commit early enough. Start renting the deck on Mana Traders for the next few months, and then start jamming online if you really want to prepare for the thing. That's what you can do. So find a deck that you can borrow, get it, start grinding. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu for 15% off your first 2 months. Send in your parallel. I still haven't sent my parallel lives yet. I still have them. Jambent, yes, you can look up every serial number and look at how your cards fit into the entire population for that card that has been graded. Now, I have a weird question about that, because what if someone cracks the case and then gets it regraded? Then doesn't that inflate the population? Like, I'm assuming not a lot of people do that, but like probably it does. They crack the case and they want to get it, like, and I heard like people crack the case over and over again to get it regraded until they get the grade that they want. Yes, Adrian, I got my Switch. Time to play a lot of really hard Mario Maker levels. I was playing it after the stream yesterday. My brother and I were playing with it for like 2 hours straight. When do Crimson Vow spoilers start? I have no idea. You can ask questions on the show. I can't promise I'm always going to have an answer. Do you think Urza Saga is playing fair Mermaid Pimp? I have no idea what the hell that means. It's playing... Oh, comma, mermaid. Yes, I am the Mermaid Pimp. It's playing fair right now. Although I think what Urza Saga can do is disgusting. I put Urza Saga in my Merfolk deck, and I had a lot of games where it just won. I just play like Urza Saga turn 2, made a construct. Like I'd play turn 1 artifact, turn 2 play Urza Saga, play another artifact. Turn 3 make construct, turn 4 make construct, get expedition map, crack expedition map, get Urza Saga, and my opponent can't even deal with these constructs and they just die. It's just crazy. It's really strong. Mareep, I mostly drink Milo like twice a week aside of water. I don't even know what Milo is. It is a drink. It is a chocolate drink. Chocolate-based products from Nestle. It's chocolate-flavored malted powder product produced by Nestle, typically mixed with milk, hot water, or both. It sounds like hot chocolate. Is it cold? It's from Australia. Australia! Introduced 87 years ago. Nestle's fortified tonic food. Never heard of it. But it's nice that you enjoy it. Seth Dubois says, I remember conversations of saying Jeth and Stoneforge Mystic is fine and everyone losing their minds at the shop. Yeah, I know. Everyone is so fucking dramatic over that old debate. And now Jace barely sees play. Although I would have to admit, I thought the card that would see more play would be Jace the Mind Sculptor over Stoneforge Mystic. And to be fair, to be very fair, if the Teferis didn't exist, that might be the case. I think the fact that Teferi Time Raveler and Teferi Hero of Dominaria, the fact that these two Planeswalkers exist, put a lot of pressure on the how many Jaces you want to play in a deck. If these Teferis don't exist, then I think you play like 3 to 4 Jaces in your deck. It's like the best Planeswalker in your deck. But the crappy thing for Jace is it got unbanned just like 1 month before Teferi Hero of Dominaria gets printed, and this was hands down better than Jace the Mind Sculptor in a blue-white control deck. Not even close. It's so much better. You draw a card, you untap lands, you can tuck away anything. You tuck away something. You don't bounce a creature to their hand. You can put any non-land permanent into its owner's library third from the top. And I think this emblem is more game ending than the Jace Ultimate. And I think it's easier to get to because it's only 5 turns away. So many people slept on Teferi for like 6 weeks. I can't remember what it was like back then, but Teferi ended up being, in my opinion, it's better than Jace the Mind Sculptor, and also Teferi Time Raveler. I'm not super high on this Planeswalker, but I understand, it's almost like a necessity. It's more of a tempo play than anything else right now. It's like not overwhelmingly dominating, but it is a card that makes the opponent admit, hey, I got to deal with this Teferi. So it's almost like Repulse. Reminds me of Repulse. Repulse with upside. So it's like Repulse, return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card. But it also sort of fogs the opponent because you have to deal with the Teferi Time Raveler. You have to kill it even though it has 1 loyalty on it. I mean, if you let your opponent untap, then they can play sorceries at instant speed. And, things can spiral out of control from there. It doesn't go so well. But I think the inclusion of these Teferi Time Raveler and Hero Dominaria pushed Jace the Mind Sculptor out. But if they didn't exist, I don't think Jace. I think Jace would be played in higher quantities. But as it is, you can play between 1 or none. No one's cracking a PSA 10. That's true. No one's cracking a PSA 10. Case cracking is an issue, but it is not common at all. For really high-end cards like Power 9, some people have done that, but for most cards, it's not worth the time or money to crack and regrade. All right, so basically the grading for the good cards is inflated. The grading for the bad cards is accurate, because it does cost you money. Unless you're like me, who wants that gem mint, Urza's Destiny, Japanese foil Thieving Magpie. How much okay, here's a random question. How much does it cost? I don't even know. If I ship them my Thieving Magpie, how much is it going to cost me? This is where we go we turn the tables. Coffee and MTG. Usually you ask me the questions. Now I'm going to ask you the questions. How much does it cost to get my crappy cards graded? Even if I want to get crappy cards graded. Keith Stoles, what about that white creature you were super high on to replace Goblin Guide and Burn? Can't remember the name. No, not Goblin Guide and Burn. It was Clever Lumimancer. It was in Prowess. Boros Prowess. I thought this would be the next coming of Prowess. There are some problems with this. Boros doesn't have as many tools as Izzet. And the second problem is Prowess isn't even good anymore right now. Just play Izzet Murktide. So, like, there was a Prowess deck, but at the time that the Clever Lumimancer was out, the Izzet Prowess is still just better. And going Jeskai, it wasn't clear going Jeskai was good at all. It is time. I'm not starting Decklist review until I find out how much it costs to get stuff graded. PSA for me is like $12 a card, and I'll get it back in 6 to 36 months. Holy fuck. That's terrible. So basically I'm saying goodbye to my thieving magpie for like, I don't know. I better send it, I don't know, make the return address some P.O. box that I'm certain I'm going to get back to. Otherwise, I could move, and then I'd have to like harass the new people living there. Hey, did my card arrive yet? Did my card arrive yet? Oh, I like that. That's cute. 36 months. Hoover, damn. Yeah, seems like a really long time. But you know, they got overwhelmed recently, right? They got really overwhelmed, especially I think during the Pokemon craze. Everyone wanted their cards graded. Everyone wanted that big money. And then they said, like, we're not grading garbage anymore. You want something graded? You gotta send us the good stuff. There was some clause like that not too long ago. Gold medals, 6 to 36 months. A little bit of a time frame difference there. There is. You never know. You never know. Like, especially right now, it probably takes forever to. Well, I don't know. Gem Mint might have more information. Usually, it's $15 to $20. For the basic service level. From there you can pay more and get it back quicker. Oh, obviously you gotta pay to get it faster. Trevor must be doing it the super busto way. He's paying the minimum and it's coming back 36 months later. Right now only premium service level is open because the grading companies got overwhelmed. Yes, that's right. That is what I heard. How did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles go? Did you get to Shredder? I beat the game. We did get to Shredder, and he keeps one-shotting me. He one-shotted me like twice. Turned me into a turtle. He swipes at me, and he's just instant death. And it was demoralizing because he sends me right back to the beginning of the level, which is just terrible. But I got to Shredder. I won. I can cross one thing off my bucket list. I've beaten Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I might get a VOD up on the channel just for the hell of it. But if you want to see the replay, you can also check it out on Twitch. Okay, now's the time. I'm a little slow because we had some good action. We had some good. The conversation was doing well, but we got to move on to Decklist review. All right, so let's do Decklist review. If you want to get your list featured on the channel and have a random chance at all, not only a random chance of getting selected for Decklist review, and maybe even a smidge of a chance of me even playing it. You can go !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list. Oh, sorry. Go into my description. There's a link to my Discord. Join the Discord. Go to Decklist review and then enter the command !review deck space. Give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist review. Or you could send me $25 USD to paypal.me/Nikachu MTG, and I will guarantee that your deck list in the comments. As you send, leave a link to your deck list, and I guarantee that you will be selected for deck list review, and you will be given one match with your deck. I'll play one match on stream with your deck. But the free way is still this way. All right, let's look at some deck lists. I am the man. That's right. I am the man. And you are the man. And we are the men. After, yeah, forget 36 months for the thing to come back. I spent basically 30 years waiting to beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Lumberjack. We got an Elves deck here. I'm just going to take a wild guess. It's going to be Elves. Just to take a very good educated guess. Lumberjack knows how to make an Elves deck. Scrying Elves. Oh. Scrying? We got some usual suspects here. Although this is a new one, Quirion Ranger, because of Modern Horizons 2. Well, if anyone's, it's a legacy staple for anyone who's not familiar. Return a forest you control to its owner's hand. Untap target creature. Activate only once each turn. Dwinion's Elite, Elvish War Master, great card. Really, really good card. It's like, it's almost like Azuri and what's it called? Dwinion's Elite all wrapped up into one. Realm Walker. Okay, so you'd probably get as much as you can off of this. Get as much as you can off the top of your library. Craterhoof Behemoth, but you only have one. But you intend on using Grist. Realm Walker, choose a creature type. You may cast creatures of the chosen type from the top of your library. So you can't cast Grist because it's an insect. But it is some sort of removal. This is a weird card to include. And Winding Way. Choose a creature or land, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all cards of the chosen type revealed this way into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. So this, combined with Realm Walker, might give you a little bit more power over the top of your library. And Sylvan Anthem. Green creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a green creature enters the battlefield... Oh, I see, okay. This is very interesting. This is actually pretty cool. Sylvan Anthem and Realm Walker in the same deck. I can get behind this. And Sylvan Anthem would make Realm Walker a 3/4, which means it's out of range of Lightning Bolt and a lot of other removal. 3/4 is a big deal in Modern. Elf decks are so annoying in Historic. Historic is historic, isn't it? But I think this is a great idea. I don't think it's like... I'm not 100% sold on stuff like Winding Way, but I would have to see it be played out. But Sylvan Anthem and Realm Walker are pretty good together. I think that... I don't get Grist, though. Is it just some sort of... You get 1/1 creatures, each... You may sacrifice a permanent to destroy creatures or planeswalkers. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Okay, so I mean, in theory, you could ultimate this when you're like super behind and blow. Okay, okay, well, whatever. We see what happens. We see what happens. Shaper's Sanctuary, Thoughtseize. This is probably the best card in your black splash. You have 4 endurance and 4 force of vigor. This is very strong. I think this is a good list. This is tight. I don't know how this is gonna... These two cards... I mean, Winding Way is fine. Whatever. I have no idea how Grist plays out, because you have no way of peeling it onto the battlefield. You literally just had to cast it. Grist can be picked up. That's true. Oh, we got a little bit of synergy there. It can be picked up with Winding Way. Can be picked up. And does it make green insects? Black and green, yeah, so it gets pumped up by your Sylvan Anthem. More synergy! More synergy! I'd love to see how this plays out. Why the 1 Craterhoof? Can you find this? I mean, I guess it's okay to just have a random win condition. But I don't think you can find it. And why 2 Yavimaya Cradle of Growth? Is it that good? Because legendary lands can get you in trouble. Is this better than, say, a Pendelhaven? Like a 1 of Pendelhaven? I don't know about you, but I feel like this deck should have a Pendelhaven in it. But whatever. Grist, mill bad top deck to continue Elf Ball. Oh! That's right. Create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill a card. If an insect card was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat this process. But it's if an insect... Oh, how many... We do have insects in here. No, that's the... No, I'm thinking of the other one. Wirewood Symbiote. How many insects do we have? We don't have any insects in here. But you mill it. Okay, so what, you mill it no matter what? Create a 1/1, then mill a card. So you mill no matter what. All right. It's a miller. This thing mills. Boom. I think this is a bit of a clunky idea, but do you know what I like? It is creature removal. It's technically creature removal. You can pitch one of your crappy elvish mystics later in the game. This is a very innovative list. I like it, and I think the numbers are very clean. I'm not sure about the Craterhoof, and I'd probably play with a Pendelhaven, especially since you've got a bunch of 1-power creatures anyway. Or maybe it doesn't work with Sylvan Anthem. You play Sylvan Anthem, and suddenly they're never a 1-power creature anymore, or a 1/1 creature, I should say. Although the insects will be. No, they won't. Sylvan Anthem again. Cool list. Realmwalker is also an insect. True story. True story. You insect! Shapeshifters and changelings are just weird. They're just weird. You're a weirdo. You're just strange. Alright, nice list. You always make good lists. Frederick. Good luck with it. Thoughts on Alpha Investments selling up to 1,500 copies of a Flesh and Blood promo with his likeness, plus a few art cards on his Patreon for $1,000 each, then destroying the rest on video. I have to check his video out. I heard about this. I should look it up. I think it's genius. I think it's just genius. This is very interesting. It's just hilarious. It's collectibles, people. This is the artificial. The artificial reserve list. I don't know if this is true, but I heard like the owner of Flesh and Blood also had copies of this card, and he just destroyed them. And Rudy was supposed to get copies of the card and then destroy them, but he didn't destroy them, and now he's selling them. Hold on, give me a second. Or maybe people can't hear it. I don't know. Do you guys hear much construction in the background? Who the hell is working on Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving, people. All right, we've got alternative. We've got Infect. Saffron Olive's budget Infect deck. So alternative is probably just asking, is this any good? Like, can I play this thing? Probably. Of course, the mono green Infect, Glistener Elf, Blight Mamba, and Iker Clawmere. This is classic budget Infect card. Blossoming Defense, Groundswell, Mutagenic Growth, Scale Up. Ooh, this is, so it's got like the somewhat recent year upgrades. Finds of the Vastwood, Become Immense, Rancor, Season of Growth. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. I don't know if I really like this card, because I don't know when I'm playing it. And if I am playing it, I think I should be playing something else. I would play more Pendelhavens than he has. I would have a second one. It is a legendary land, but still, like, this card is so good with all these cards that you should probably try to get more, draw one a game. I would play at least 2 in the deck. Maybe even a third. Maybe. Another thing you could, like, upgrade is you could play, what's it called? What's the green land that pumps your creature up? I'm not a fan of Snakeskin Veil. I don't like these cards. Or, I mean, if it pumps it up enough, I like it. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Like, it's okay. But it's just, the pump is very small. Like, when you're trying to pump to kill, this doesn't do the job for you. What do we have here? We've got... like, Blossoming Defense is just a little bit more. Like, it's like Burn. Every point of damage matters. Haship Oasis. I like that. Let's play some Haship Oasis. Like, you don't have to play that many. And it's not that expensive. Like, you'll pay life for adding green, but you only have to add, like, play 1 or 2. And you can pay 3, tap, sacrifice a desert, which is this thing, and target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. But, like, you can play, like, 1 of these. And it's just a random chunk of damage out of nowhere. When, you know, you might be passing the turn. Is there any other way to, like, push through damage? Well, Inkmoth is very expensive. This is it's clearly a budget deck. I mean, of course, play Inkmoth Nexus if you got the money. We got Autumn's Veil. Spells you control can't be countered or by blue or black spells this turn, and creatures you control can't be the target of... No, play... Okay, this one, play Veil of Summer. Or is it too expensive? I mean, it might be 10 bucks. It is money, but I mean, Veil of Summer is better than this. So if you could upgrade... Let's say we wanted to upgrade this deck. Okay, I don't know if you want to keep this budget, but like keeping it budget, you know, you add your Haship Oasis, you add probably one more Pendelhaven. Now, if you wanted to easily upgrade this thing... This is actually a really good card, Wild Defiance. If we wanted to easily upgrade this thing, add... Actually, I don't like this season. I don't know what to replace this with. Do we replace this with Inkmoth Nexus? Inkmoth is too expensive, though. But the money upgrades is upgrade with Inkmoth Nexus. Good God. It's $40. For you could buy instead you could have one Inkmoth Nexus, or you could have this entire deck for 35 bucks. Or sorry, $60. Oh, it used to be $35 in fact. Well, not anymore, Saffron. Not anymore. Any cheap CMC make unblockable artifact? Not that I know of. I think your best bet is to go with make things give it trample. Which makes me think maybe there should be like a Gem Razor in here. You could mutate a Gem Razor on something. Reach and trample. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. You know what? You should probably have Gem Razors in this deck anyway, because it's a means of like destroying your opponent's Chalice of the Voids, for example. I guess Apostle's Blessing is like a sort of a cheap way of pushing through damage. Charge through? Let's look at charge through. Target creature gains trample until turn, draw a card. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. And it's a new one. It's not bad. It's possible Apostle's Blessing is one of the better one. Whisper Silk Cloak. I'm sure this deck's biggest problem is just pushing through damage, because it has no unblockable creatures. The equipped creature can't be blocked and has Shroud. That's not good, you can't pump the creature. And it's also, I would say it's pretty expensive. Cast for 3, equip for 2. Might of Old Kroza. Isn't that in this deck? No, no, we don't have this in this deck. This is really good, actually. Maybe we should be playing Might of Old Kroza instead of this. Why aren't we playing Might of Old Kroza? So weird. We should play Might of Old Kroza instead of this, and then we should replace the Become Immense is difficult because you need Delve. Maybe we play one Apostle's Blessing instead. Wild Shape is okay with Infect. Choose one. Until in a turn, target creature you control has base power and toughness, becomes that creature type, and gains the ability. You'd have a 3/3 elephant with trample. Oh! Oh, this is very good. Oh, this is very, very good. Oh, I like this card a lot. Oh, this is great. Okay, we're playing this card. This is better than a Might of Old Kroza. Because Might of Old Kroza gets +4/+4. I like this a lot, actually. Okay, so let's just play 4 of these instead of the Season of Growth. And if you want one season, play 1 Season of Growth if you want instead of the Become Immense. I really don't care about this card. Because it's hard to fill up your graveyard. You don't have fetch lands. And your spells are clunky, more or less. Wild Shape is one of the new unsung heroes of Standard. This might be one of the unsung heroes of Modern. Well, I guess it's not useful in Modern Because if you're playing with a fully powered Infect deck, you're playing with unblockable creatures like Ink Moth Nexus, Blighted Agent. But on a budget, this is exactly what we're looking for. The biggest problem with these Infect decks, the budget Infect decks, is pushing damage. And we do have 4 Rancor. It's not enough. Like, you can't be guaranteed you're going to have that Rancor. Your opponent will just block these things constantly and then and force you to play pump spells to keep it alive. But if you can turn it it pumps it up and gives it trample, and you can still push damage above and beyond the creature that blocked, that's very good. That's the biggest upgrade we can make this deck. So get rid of Become Immense, play 1 Season of Growth, get rid of everything else, play 4 of these. It's very good. I love it. And I think that's it. Replace Autumn's Veil with Veil of Summer. And then, of course, if you want to upgrade the deck big time, you play with Ink Moth Nexus and all the other good stuff. Like Wild Shape, because of the modularity, it can protect your creature when you need it or push through... That's true as well, actually. So if, let's say they're throwing Lightning Bolt at it, you can turn it into a Spider with Reach. This is the whole thing. It could be a 1/3 turtle with hexproof. Oh, which is good too, actually. You can you could give it hexproof in response. If they play Anger of the Gods, turn it into a Spider with Reach. It's actually a lot of modes on here are very good. This is a very good card. This is a very good card for budget Infect, I would say. Yeah, it gives hexproof. Great stuff. All right, and that would be it. That's a great way to boost up this deck. I think for the most part, it's got everything else that it wants. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I think I'm going to play that deck, actually. That's very interesting. If we upgrade with those, with the Wild Shape. Make a super budget Infect a reasonable deck. We're going to bring Infect back by bringing all the cheapos. People want to play for pennies into the mix. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. For all the Canadians out there, have a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Trevor. And just a reminder, if I didn't get your comments, questions, or deck list, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, even on holidays. And if you'd love to support the channel, you don't do so already, you could drop a sub at twitch.tv, you can become a patron at patreon.com, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. It is all good. So thank you very much for joining me today, making me a part of your daily routine. Enjoy the turkey, everyone, for everyone that eats the turkey in Canada. And keep brewing up those coffees, and we will keep brewing